Curious to understand, I guess, the point where you jumped into this, making the book into the film.
Yes.
At what point did you start that?
True story is, I think it's the first movie that's ever been decided by an Amazon robot, because I love to read zombie fiction.
Right.
I only allow myself a zombie fiction book once every year or so, and I would buy them from this permuted press. And one day I got on the Amazon, and I got a email in my box, and it said, if you like this permuted press zombie book, you will love John Dies at the End. And then it had a little brief description, and I think that's when I started making the movie, because first off I saw what I believe might be the greatest title there ever was, because it's so memorable and so strange. And then it had concepts of things that I'm always interested in, like always have been fascinated with interdimensional travel and, you know, evil intelligences from other places, and questioning perception and reality, and it had all of that in spades. And plus, it had some scary moments, and it also had some great funny moments. And I like the irreverent sense of humor, and the way the two guys, because I don't know that I could write something like that. You know, the way that they see a monster and they kind of go, that's different. You know, I would have them run and scream, but the way this book was, it was a lot of deadpans and really great stuff. How
long though did it take?
Well, I immediately wrote an email to this writer, and then for about a month I didn't hear anything, and then I wrote him again, and then I said, call me at this number, and he called up, and he'd actually, because it turned out that he was a Bubba Hotep and Phantasm fan, and he thought it was his friend playing a joke on him. So he didn't believe that I was really interested. So that set us back about a month, and then I got in touch with them, and we were able to work out an arrangement for me to get the rights. And it took a while, maybe about 6 months I spent writing the script, and then, you know, I took about a year trying to go around and get the traditional places to fund the movie. And it was very sad, because I got Paul Giamatti on board to help me with it, and I asked him to take the film out, the script out, to a couple of studios that we had meetings with before, and they liked the script, but they came back and said basically that they would have to develop the story and sanitize it for a more general audience, and that they'd have to take out everything that we liked about the script. And so then I decided I had to do it the way I've always done, which is to go and find independent investment, which gave me a lot of creative control, but it also meant the budget was smaller, and so, you know, there was just a lot of grunt labor on my own part. I mean, in terms of getting things done and shot, and, you know, trying to make the movie as high a production value as you possibly could with like no money.
So why did you say that after watching the movie we would want to read the book?
Mainly because there are elements of the book where it goes different places that if someone had interest in the movie, they might enjoy seeing what the characters... It's almost like, in some respects, the book's like a written sequel, because you could read like the first third of it, and then go off into a whole different area. So I think if someone had interest in the story and want to see more with the characters right away, the book is there. You know, if they want to wait around for a sequel to the movie, it might be a few years.
And maybe I misunderstood, because I'm not an English as a first language speaker, but did John die at the end?
Well, that's a good question. It's something that I used the actual ending from the book. I'm pretty sure he died in the middle. So I don't know. You know, there's speculation that he might have, but I guess he didn't. I don't know. It's a little unclear to me.
Near, far, wherever you are, Maya will go on. Go ahead.
Well, I am curious. It does seem like this would be ideal for sequels. I mean, you must have interest in continuing this. Am I putting words in your mouth, or is it true?
Well, after the response that I heard out there today, I mean, for a filmmaker, what is more exciting than when people laugh at the places that you want them to laugh, and even more in the response, it seemed really warm, and that was really exciting for me. So yes, I like those two characters, and I love those two actors, and I think that there could be a lot more, but you know, in the state of the business today, you know, the movie would have to, you know, perform well. So I think it's far too premature to know that there would be a sequel in store. So that's why I structured the movie the way it was with the end credits, so that it sort of felt like we put a little sequel in there. So if it turns out we're not able to make a sequel, they can go look at the end credits and sort of see what could have been with the boys.
That's cool.
Are all the little details that are, like I would say, very film script kind of thing, also in the book, like the ghost hand that comes at the beginning and then back at the end and this kind of thing?
Yes, that was a key component of the novel, and it was something that that might have been one of those moments in the book where I thought, oh, this would just make for a fantastic movie, because just the concept of phantom limb and using it in a fashion with the ghost door, I just loved. It was just a brilliant idea, and not that easy to pull off, you know, because the effects were a real challenge to make that thing look illusory and ghost-like. And it was one of the easier ones that actually the visual artists we work with were able to make that work pretty easily and quickly. Yeah.
In terms of the effects, I mean, what was the one effect that you wanted to pull off the most that was maybe the most challenging? I'm guessing the meat monster?
Well, that was a big question, but although it was answered relatively early, because at the beginning I was thinking that we would have to do some sort of a 3D digital construct on the thing. And I have a director friend named William Malone, who directed House on Haunted Hill and Fear.com and some other stuff, and he had made a low-budget movie where he did all his own effects, and I was really impressed with what he did. And I would sit with him and ask him how to do things, and he thought that it might be possible to do it as a man in a suit. And then an artist friend of mine did a sketch of what it would look like, you know, large enough to fit a guy. And you could see it looked like it would be okay. But then the cool thing about, you know, listen, they're all just tools. We were able to use a man in a suit, but then in post-production we were able to make some little pieces of meat kind of snake up onto him to make it look more lively. But
I never really thought that a turkey would look like Alien, because when I saw it, it was like, shit, it looks like Alien, but it's like a little turkey, you know? So.
See, it was just a function of deciding how to angle the turkey head, and it is funny how it takes on that shape. When you see at first we used to have the drumsticks come out like there, and it had these things, but when we switched it around, then it had that sleek shape, and so. Nice observation, but that was one of those moments where we looked at it and thought, oh, this could really be pretty cool.
I wanted to find out how you ended up working with Clancy. At what point did he get involved, and did you initially imagine him in that role?
Well, I've always wanted to work with him ever since, well, I mean, I absolutely love him in Starship Troopers. It's one of my favorite movies. But I loved him in the Carnival TV series on HBO. You know, of course, his more mainstream movies like Shawshank Redemption. I mean, he's one of the great actors, and you could even, you know, he's a great character actor too. He's, you know, so he can play both leads and characters. But yeah, I was really surprised. I thought, oh, he'll be one of these actors you really have to chase. But once again, Clancy, much like Paul Giamatti, is very interested in genre movies, and he supports a lot of genre directors like J.T. Petty and the Hellbenders. He's been both of his movies, and yeah, really wonderful actor. Would love to work with him again in something different.